when I went to college, I learned about, the term, the cycle of poverty, and I was like, oh, wow, that's totally me, and that's where I am. And in high school, even though I didn't know the term, I knew what that was. If I wanted to break away from being in this poor family and dealing with the circumstances that I was dealt, I knew that I had no choice but to do it myself. So all through high school, I said, all right, I know college isn't free. My dad says college isn't free. You're going to have to do it on your own. So the only way to do that was to make super good grades and get some sort of scholarship. No one really talked about it. It was just kind of like, oh, well, she's doing good, and she says she's going to college, so I guess she is. Family-wise, no one else had been to college, none of my family, and I have a twin sister who was not on the same academic level as me, and so they were just kind of like, okay, this twin's going to college, this twin's not, and everyone's fine with that. They just didn't really talk about it. No one necessarily congratulated me for going either. I didn't have many people come to my graduation, and I'm not really sure if that's because they just knew the whole time me growing up that's what I was going to do, so it wasn't a big thing, or if they just didn't know that part of, life of going my senior year. I had a bunch of life circumstances that were kind of just dragging me down. At 17, my home life had just totally dismantled. My house was unlivable, and so I had been working since I was 16, and I was helping my family pay bills, and when my house just crumpled down, I decided to try to get my own apartment, and so I found this man who was renting a little one-bedroom apartment in town, and he let me do it at 17. Don't know how legal that was, but I worked constantly. I was working more than I was focusing on school. And so at the end of my senior year, I went from making straight A's to barely I think I actually made a C or a D in one class, and that just felt horrible. But it's what I had to do to get by. And then in the spring of my senior year, I got pregnant, and so that just added a whole new level of, holy crap, what am I going to do, because I have to go to college, like I have no choice. And I thought about bringing a kid, and the kid living in the exact same situation as me, poor parents, not doing anything, just working to get by, and I'm like, I am not going to be like that. So despite when people found out I was pregnant, I had already been accepted to college, and when I got there, they said, we recommend that you not come to college until after your pregnancy. And I said, that's not a choice for me, I'm doing it. So my family was like, well, you're not going to be successful, you can't go to school while pregnant and then have the baby and still be in school. But I said, I can't, I have no choice. That's kind of like my motto, I have no choice, you have to do it. And I did it, and it was really, really hard, but I made it through. And I did it primarily on my own. The baby's dad was with me for about a year, and then we weren't together. So I had an apartment, going to school, working part-time with an infant, and it was really, really hard, but I did it.